So can you hear me? Anyone please respond?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, okay. So, all right. So let us start my class. So, in the last class, we have actually discussed about the continuity, right? So, I told you that the basic definition of continuity was very simple. So, if we if we have some function, if the functional value of this function and the limiting value of this function are same at some certain point A, then we can say that the function is continuous at that particular point. Okay, so last class I get in what query from one of you. So he was asking for giving some example, mathematical example. So I'll give them mathematical example, but not now, because let me complete the whole part in this particular manner. So I'm discussing all those things by considering some examples, real life example, by not considering any mathematical function. So let us complete my whole discussion, because probably this will be my last class on these basic concepts. So let us discuss all those things first. Then, if needed, I will discuss these things by considering some mathematical functions. And regarding mathematical functions, so as you already did lots of problem in your high secondary course, right? So there was some chapters called continuity, a chapter called derivatives, right? So in those chapters you actually did lots of exercises. So those are actually examples. So those problems you did in a chapter called continuity, so those are the examples of continuous functions. If they are continuous or discontinuous, it's based depending on the problem, depending on the function. Okay, so all of them actually you can consider as continuous function, examples of continuous function. So today, uh, let me consider the next part. Okay, so the last part of my discussion, so which is derivative. Okay, derivative. Acha, before starting derivative, if you want to ask me any question, okay, then you can raise your hand. Otherwise, I will start the concept of derivative. And regarding the mathematical examples, so I'll give later. But in this particular moment, my intention is to not to give the mathematical examples. My intention is to give the concept of these terms. Okay, all right. So no one have any queries. So let's start the derivative. As again, so let's start the concept of derivative with an example. Okay, I always consider some example while I am discussing these concepts. So now in this case, let assume I have a farm. Okay, let us assume that I have a farm and where I am actually producing rice. Okay, so I have a farm, I am producing rice there. Okay, and that rice is a very special kind. Okay, so I am producing rice in my farm, and that rice is a very special kind. The special kind means the production of rice only depends on rain. Okay, it only depends on rain. It's not depending on fertilizer, it's not depending on flood, so anything else. It's only depending on rain, amount of rain. If the amount of rain increase, then the production will increase. Okay, so it's completely dependent on rain only. All right, so now what I did, I collect the datas. Okay, so what I get, basically, when the last year, if the last year the amount of rain was x1, okay, instead of writing giving some name, let we are considering data like when the amount of rain was 10 centimeter. Do you know? So the rain can be measured with the help of centimeter, millimeter, like that, right? So when the amount of rain was 10 centimeter last year, the production of rice was let 50 kg. Okay. So when the amount of rain was 10, the production of rice was 50. This year, when we have 50 centimeter of rain, 15 centimeter of rain, assume that my production is 65 kg. Right? So we have actually collected the data. So this is what amount of rain, okay, and this is production of rice. Okay, this is production of rice. All right. Now, since my production of rice is only depending on amount of rain, so that's why I want to see that what is the impact of this rain on my rice. Obviously, there will be some impact because the production is only depending on rain. All right. So, for that reason, what I have actually checked, I want to check what is the rate of hmm, uh, just yeah rate of change. Okay. So, what is the rate of change of rice with respect to rain? Okay, I just want to see this. So that means, in some other word, what I want to see, that I want to see that what is the impact of this rain on my production of rice. Okay, so that's why I check. I want to see that what is the rate of change of rice, in which rate the change will happen on rice when there is some change in rain. Okay, with respect to rain means, if there is some change in rain, then what will be the change of my rice? Okay, that is I want to see. For that, what we will do? So I think this kind of problem you have solved from your elementary schools, right? So when we need to find the rate of change of something, so here in this case, how can we find this? We simply consider the difference of rice. That means we'll find 65 minus 50, that is the difference of rice, and we'll divide this by the difference of rain. So we'll do 15 minus 10. Is it? So this rate of change of rice with respect to the change of rain is given by this. Am I correct here? Or anyone have any doubt? So this is the way how actually we are finding the rate of change of something with respect to something, okay, from our school days, right? We simply consider difference of this divided by difference of this. All right. So this is the story. This is the story. Now let me generalize this. So any doubt? Anyone have any doubt on this story? So again, let me repeat the whole story from the beginning. So I have a farm. I produce rice there, and my rice are very special kind because the production is only depending on rain. So I will mention later why we have put this restriction. Okay, so my rice is a very special kind because it only depends on the amount of rain. Now, since my rice, the production is only depending on rain, that's why now I want to see that what is the impact of rain on my rice, on my production. That's why we find this. We find a rate of change of rice with respect to change of rain. That means simply we want to see what is the impact. So if we change the rain, what will be the impact of that change on the rice? So that is the only meaning. And when we have this kind of conditions, so we always do the difference of this divided by difference of this. That's why we have considered 65 minus 50. This is the difference of the production, and divided by, this is the difference of rain, 15 minus 10. That's all. Now, let me denote this with some symbols. Instead of writing some numerical values, let me consider this was as x1. And when the value was x1, the rain was x1, let the production is y1. Okay, these are some symbols. Similarly, this year, if the rain was x2, let the production is y2. Okay, now with the help of these symbols, now can we denote this by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1? Can we write like this? All right. So simply I'm changing the numerical values by the symbols. Okay, now let me, since this looks quite bigger, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So to denote this, let me use del y is equal to y2 minus y1. This is just a notation. Huh? I'm not writing y2 minus y1 again and again and again. Just simply to denote y2 minus y1, let me write del y. So this is the capital del. It's a Greek alphabet. Okay. And we use this alphabet generally to denote the difference. And just you can say that this is just a notation. Like you have some application number. So application number is denote to some unique something, right? So here, so to denote this difference, I have used this del y. Similarly, to denote x2 minus x1, let me introduce an another symbol del x. All right. So that's why this can be written as del y divided by del x. Is it all right? Achha. Now again, let us move to our previous example. So here, if we see this particular table, so last year the amount of rain was 10. This year the amount of rain is 15. The difference is very much visible. So difference is 5, we can say, right? But since we want to see what is the impact of rain on my rice, that's why what I want to do, I want to see if there is a very small change in rain. See, be careful what I'm saying. Okay, why I just use what are the term I'm using here. So I want to see what is the impact on my rice if there is a very small change in rain. Now, again I'm repeating, I just want to see what is the impact on my rice if there is a very small change in rain. Achha, very small change, very small. So how can you say something is very small? Can anyone give me the mathematical way how to actually express something is very small? Or forget about mathematics. So yes, Razorki, can you say something about very small? Very small means what?
Sir, dx by dt. So
No, no, no.
forget
Forget about them. Forget about them. Forget about them. Just I want to ask, what is the meaning of very small?
Sir, tiny.
Very small means tiny. Or Anurag, do you want to say something?
Negligible.
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 Negligible. Yes, negligible. Or it's like zero. It's like zero. Yes, it's very small. It's almost like zero. Yes or no? Yes or no? Am I correct? It's almost like zero. There is something. It's like something like zero. So very small in mathematics also we can say that very small means it's like almost like zero. And when we have that kind of concept, okay, for example, if I ask Abir that give me a small number, so then he can give me sir one is a small number. Yeah, one is a small number. Now if I ask Avigyan that give me another small number, then Avigyan can give me sir 0.5. Yes, 0.5 is also a small number, right? Now if I ask Avinav that give me another small number smaller than that 0.5, then he can give me 0.25. Okay, right? Like that. Okay, like in this way actually, if we come to the nearest value of zero, that means if we are approaching to zero, see, I have used a term approach to zero, and this term I have used while I am discussing the limit. Okay, so if I ask you can you give me a number which is very nearest to 0? Can you give me a number, others? Others, can you give me a number which is very nearest to 0?
0.1.
0.1. Acha. So Anjar, can you give me another number which is nearest than this?
0.0001.
0.00001. See, actually we can't define such kind of number. If I ask another one, then he can put more zeros. Then he can give another number which is actually nearest to 0. So these kind of concepts are not that proper. Okay, so if I say the nearest number to 0, that is not actually exist. We always have an another number which is nearest to a particular number. Okay, so these kinds of concepts, and small concept is again similar to that. So if we can say this is a small number, yes, you are correct, this is small, but this is again small. Okay, so small concept is like that. Or you can say when we are approaching to 0, then that is actually a small number. Okay, now is it clear about the concept of small number? So I think it's all right, right? So now again, let us move to the story. Now what I want to see, what is the impact on my production of rice if there is a very small change in the rain. The change of rain I have already denoted by del x. Okay, now very small change means del x will be approach to 0. Okay, it's almost like 0, but it may not be 0. Okay, now actually I want to see what will happen on my production if there is a very small change in x, or del x tends to 0. So this story I just told, so should be some notation in mathematics to describe all those things. Okay. For example, here I told you that give me the production of rice when there is a very small change in rain. Okay. To describe those kind of stories, again, let me use the previous notation. Limit I have already used in the last class. Okay. Limit del x tends to 0, del y del x. Yes. Okay. Can I have this? Can I have this? So limit del x tends to 0, del y del x. This means the value of this is nothing but the rate of change, right? But the rate of change when del x is very small. And believe me, this is nothing but dy dx we know from our high secondary course. To symbolize this, because it's a very huge notation, limit del x tends to 0, del y del x, we are not interested to write these kind of expressions. Now to denote this, we simply use dy dx. So dy dx is simply what? If I summarize this whole story, we can say that dy dx is a change of y with respect to x, but when the amount of x is very small. The amount difference of x is very small. Is it all right? So this is the definition. Now you may not be familiar with this kind of definition. You get some definition in your high secondary course, right? So let me do some calculations here. So see, here I did some work. Okay, let me consider the whole thing as f of x, because the function is nothing but some work done. So here I did some work, I have produced some rice. So this function I named as f. So can we have this y1? Y1, we are getting y1 when the rain was x1. So when the rain was x1, we are getting the value as y1. So a y1 can be written as f of x1. Similarly, y2 will be what? F of x2. So f was production of rice. So this complete work done when the rain was x2, the production was y2. So that is the meaning. Now can we write with some different letter? So see, 10, 15, can we write this as 10 plus 5? Can we write 15 as 10 plus 5? Why I'm considering 10? 10 is the previous number. Yes. So using this concept, can we write x2 as x1 plus h? H is the difference. Okay, like here 5 is the difference between 10 and 15. So let me consider x2 as x1 plus h. So if we write x2 as x1 plus h, so can we write this as f of x1 plus h? So y2, I can write this as f of x1 plus h. All right, any doubt here up to this? Any doubt here? Anyone?
Sir.
Yes?
No, sir.
No, okay, all right. Now let me consider now these symbols in our calculation. So here I have considered limit. So what is the del x means? Del x was x2 minus x1. So what is the value of x2 now? x1 plus h minus x1, right? So which is x1 cancelled out, ultimately this is equal to h. So instead of del x, now we can write h. So h tends to 0. Okay, h tends to 0. Here, y del y means what? Del y means y2 minus y1, right? Which is equal to y2 minus y1. Y2 is nothing but f of x1 plus h, right? Minus y1. Y1 means what? F of x1. Is it? Divided by del x, and del x means h. Now, is this familiar to you? Is this definition is familiar to you? Have you get this definition
Yes,
in your
sir.
high secondary course?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
This was the definition
Yes,
of
sir.
derivative. This was the definition of derivative. So you know this definition from your high secondary course, that derivative of y with respect to x when x equal to x1 is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x1 plus h minus f of x1 divided by h. Actually, I did the same thing, right? I did the same thing. So this was the definition from your ACS course. So this is not a new one. But the whole thing is nothing but this. The whole thing is nothing but this. dy dx is just a symbol to denote the whole story. The whole story is what? If we are trying to find the change of y with respect to change of x, when the change of x is very small, then we denote this as dy by dx. And this is about the derivative. Any doubt? Anyone have any question? So I did nothing new, right? So, but I describe all those things with some practical example. Here, everything is practical. Now, since you have no question, let me ask you a question. Let me ask a question, like it's an open question, right? So, why I have put this restriction? Why I have considered that my production of rice is only depending on the amount of rain, or what is the impact of that? What was the impact of that? Can anyone tell me? It's an open question. It's to all. No one can give the answer? Anyone who is interested to say?
The rate the rate will change if restriction is not there.
No, 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 no. That is not my question. My question is why we consider that my rain is only depending on rain. Only depending on rain.
So y is a function of x.
Y is a function of x, or see, the simple answer is the answer you can say, because we consider that because you actually passed the high secondary program only. So this is the simple answer, and this is the reality, because in your high secondary you only know some function which are depending on only one variable. You know about only y is equal to f of x. What does it mean? You have a function y which is only depending on one variable x. That's why we have, in this particular example, I have only considered that the rain is on rice is only depending on one variable, one factor, which is rain. Huh? But in the higher study, in reality, what will happen? The production of rice maybe depends on rain, maybe depends on flood, maybe depends on fertilizer, lots of factors, right? So in that case, what happened? This function f will depends on more than one variable. Okay, for every term we need to put different variables like x, y, z, like that. So y already considered, so x1, x2, x3, like that. So those kind of functions also no will actually going to study, not in the first semester. We'll discuss about those functions in the next semester. In the second semester you have a paper, you have a unit on that. Okay, so functions with several variable. Okay, functions with several variable, and here in this case I have given this particular example only because we are passing through this high secondary program and we know about some functions which are only depending on one variable x. All right, now, so after discussing about the derivative, so there are some results we actually get in your high secondary program. Like we are almost done. Huh? Now let me ask an old question. Actually, I have asked in the very first class. Now, do you see some relation between set to derivative? Now, do you see? Because in the very first class, I asked about this question, right? I asked about this question. If I have the notes, I can't actually find that. But I have asked you that what was the relation between the concepts you have learned in your high secondary program? The concepts starting from set to the derivative. Are they correlated now? Can you see the link between them?
The function.
Yes, exactly. The function is the bridge. The function is the bridge. So first we have discussed about set, then we have discussed about the relations. Yes, the relations are based on the Cartesian product of two sets. The relation is based on the Cartesian product. Based on relation, we can define function, and the remaining concept, limit, continuity, derivative, all are based on function. So function is a bridge. Okay, and as I told you earlier when I was discussing the function is the strongest tool. Anything you can express as a function. If I'm doing this, I'm doing some function, some work done is a function. So everyone at every moment is doing some function. But the thing is what? Those things we need to describe in the mathematical form. And what is the advantage of that? Why we need the things in the mathematical form? Because if we have something in the mathematical form, okay, then we can actually solve that. Okay, if you have any kind of problem, like if even something personal problem also, if you can convert that personal problem to a mathematical problem, if you formulate that in a mathematical way, then you can actually solve that. So mathematics is the way to solve anything. Huh? So that's why the mathematics is the queen, right? And the engineering is just an application of mathematics. So you people have to know mathematics properly. At every moment, actually, you will the mathematics will be your base. Okay. So now let me ask you one question. Again, this is from your high secondary course. There was a concept in your high secondary that every differentiable function means what? If we can differentiate a function, okay, if we can differentiate a function, then that function is called differentiable. Okay, now differentiable function means if this exists, this value exists, because this value is based on limit, and we know that limit may or may not exist. If last class I told you, if both the direction, both the people meet, goes to different place, then we actually said a limit will not exist, right? So since this derivative definition is also depending on limit, so sometimes this may not exist, this may not have, we may not have this value. So in that case, actually we will say that the function is not differentiable. If this limit exists and this is unique from both sides, either from right hand side or from left hand side, if both are unique, then we can say that the function is differentiable. All right, now we know a result from high secondary that every differentiable function is continuous. Okay, so this is very important result. every differentiable function is continuous. So there was a proof for that. Okay, this is a very important result. There is a proof for that, but this is not my question. This is not my question. So my question is the reverse of this one. So we also know that the reciprocal is the reverse of this is not always true. That means if we have a continuous function, it may not be differentiable. Okay, we can't say that a continuous function will be differentiable. So there is a question mark between these two relations. Differentiable function, if we know that function is differentiable, directly we can say that this will be continuous. There is no any second thought. But in this case, when we have a continuous function, to say that this is differentiable, there is a question mark. We can't say this one. Now, my question is, when we have this condition, when actually a continuous function is not differentiable. The function is continuous. Yes,
when there is a sharp turn in graph.
exactly. So in graphical meaning, derivatives means dy dx. You got this is from your high secondary program, that dy dx is what? If we know, this was in your coordinate geometry chapter. So if we have a point here a, if this is f of x, then at this point the slope of this tangent, right? Slope of this tangent is the dy dx. So if we call this as y is equal to f of x, then the slope at this point is called dy dx at x equal to a. Now, if we have some sharp edge like this, so if we have a sharp edge, very sharp, then in that case, we can actually draw infinitely many tangents at this point. So we can draw infinitely many tangents at this point. So if we can draw infinitely many tangents at this point, that means the slope of the tangent is not that fixed. So if the slope is not fixed, so can we define this? Is this unique in that case? No, right? So the only case is what? So every differentiable function will be continuous. Sorry, every continuous function will be differentiable only when if there is no any sharp edge. Sharp means it should be very sharp. It not be like it should not be like this. Okay, it should not be like this. So if we have some sharp edge here, like for example, I can give mod x. So f of x equal to mod x. If you remember, so you got this example in your high secondary program, and the graph of this function was like this. Here at this point, the function has a very sharp edge. Okay, and this function is continuous. See, there is no any break. This function is continuous, and this function is differentiable also at every point except this, except the point where we have the sharp edge. That means at the point x equal to 0. All right. Acha. So I'll ask few more questions if time permits. So you have 6 minutes. Give the attendance now. Give the attendance first. So do it fast. Do it fast. All right. Anyone to give attendance? Do it fast. Do it fast. We have only few minutes more. Anyone else remain? Okay. Okay, all right. All right. So Now, if you have any kind of question, you can ask me. So from the next class, that means from tomorrow, we'll start our main content. So we'll start from the concept of derivative. Actually, the first thing in our syllabus is successive differentiation. Okay, so we'll start from that. But if you have any kind of question here, you can ask me.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, differentiability at a point
Uh-huh.
and a differential function. Sir, are different. Sir,
And
differentiability at a point.
uh-huh. শুনিছো কোৱা?
Sir, and differentiation, differential function. Sir, are they related? Means
Yes,
every
yes, yes.
means
So if we
in
have
a
a
differential
function,
function,
yes,
every
yes.
point is differential.
Yeah, exactly. See, so here in the case of mod x, the whole function is not differentiable. Okay, if a function is differentiable at every point, then we can say that the function is differentiable. But here in this case, at this point x equal to 0, the function is not differentiable. It has no derivative at this point. But if we consider f of x equal to x, then in that case, we have a function like this. See, there is no any surface. So this function will be differentiable. Or you can consider this example f of x equal to sine x. Okay, sine x, what we have? So we have this kind of functions like, so there is no any surface. If you see, no surface is there. So this is a differentiable function, differentiable everywhere. But here in this case, if you break the interval, like within this interval, the function is differentiable. Within this interval, the function is differentiable. In fact, if we exclude the 0 from the domain, the function will be differentiable. Any more doubt, Dorpan?
No, sir.
Okay, anyone else? Any kind of query?
Sir, which book we have to take for mathematics?
Yeah, for mathematics, so you can consider Engineering Mathematics by H.K. Das. Engineering Mathematics by H.K. Das. See, there are two books, huh? Don't go for the advanced one. Engineering Mathematics by H.K. Das.
Okay, sir.
Any more doubt? Any more questions? See, this is the last class of basic concepts. So from next class, we are going to start the main content. Any doubt? So I want to see one thing. So how many of you people are from civil? Raise your hand. From civil. All the civil people raise your hand, please. Let me count. How to find a number? Actually, there's something there. Easily I find it, but okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. So from CSC, civil people, down your hand. CSC people, raise your hand.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Sir, sir,
Yes.
sir, me and Devaditya are using the same device.
Okay. So from civil, right?
From CSC, sir.
From CSC, all right. So that means in CSC, I need to count one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. I lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 42. All right. So down your hand. Now, EC people, raise your hand. EC people. So this class